Let's start with our first news. Ilia sends a warning to Justin Gaethje after posting a dramatic image showing all of his big-name opponents lined up on a table, each with red roses placed in front of them. Ilia is seen picking a white rose for the White House, adding more intensity to his message. He captioned the post, "The White House, a white rose and a nap in its gardens." Not many people will be able to say that. The message clearly shows Ilia's confidence as he continues to believe he will dominate Justin Gaethje and extend his streak after finishing several fan favorites. Meanwhile, Justin Gaethje appears unfazed in training, keeping his usual relaxed energy. In a clip with his coach and friend Luke Caudillo, he is seen joking, sparring, and exchanging playful moments inside the gym. The session includes light banter, with Gaethje laughing after exchanges, showing that he is still enjoying his preparation. One moment captures them going back and forth, pushing the pace before joking about rounds and timing. After the session, the tone remains loose, with both fighters continuing to move and talk trash in a friendly way, emphasizing Gaethje's calm mindset heading into big fights. Reports also suggest that Ilia's training approach has been intense. According to Alex Pitt's coach, Planino Cruz, when Ilia trained with them last month, following the White House promo shoot, he was weighing around 90 kilos, approximately 200 pounds, showing significant physical condition and presence during camp. His physique and momentum are being closely watched as fight week approaches, with fans debating whether his power and pressure will translate inside the octagon at the highest level. All attention now shifts toward the upcoming clash, where expectations continue rising across the entire MMA world today. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev talks about his next UFC fight and also addresses the ongoing buzz around Conor McGregor's return to the octagon. As rumors continue to circulate about Makhachev potentially appearing on the August-numbered card, the champion has now spoken openly about what could be next for him, while also reacting to questions about the heavyweight attention surrounding Conor McGregor's comeback talks. At this stage, fans are already well aware of the ongoing welterweight discussion, with multiple contenders pushing hard for a title opportunity. Names like Michael Morales and Ian Gary have both been repeatedly mentioned in the title picture, with each fighter making a strong case through performances and public callouts. On top of that, Carlos Prats has also been vocal in interviews, claiming he is next in line for the winner of Makhachev's upcoming defense, and stating that he is willing to wait patiently for his shot at the belt. So naturally, the question becomes clear: who is next in line, Michael Morales or Ian Gary? According to the current momentum and multiple internal hints from both camps, the focus appears to be shifting toward Ian Gary as the most likely challenger. Reports suggest that discussions have been quietly building behind the scenes, and even members from both Makhachev and Gary's teams have hinted that this matchup is becoming more realistic by the day. Adding even more fuel to the speculation, Ian Gary was recently seen traveling to Georgia to sharpen his skills, a move many fans interpreted as preparation for a possible title shot. Meanwhile, Makhachev addressed the situation during a recent interview with TNT Sports, where he was directly asked about his next fight and timeline. Makhachev responded by suggesting that he is planning to begin camp soon and expects to be ready by August. When asked specifically about opponents, he made it clear that Ian Gary is currently at the top of his list, referencing the rankings and competitive position in the division. He stated that there are multiple contenders available, but emphasized that number one right now is Ian Gary, while also acknowledging that other fighters are still pushing for a chance at the belt. However, Makhachev made it clear in his tone that he is not interested in giving opportunities away easily, keeping full focus on defending his position at the very top of the division. Move on to another news. Michael Chandler is seen preparing for UFC White House conditions in a new video showing how he is training for extreme weather and constant bugs. Chandler reacts to the environment as insects swarm around him while he continues his preparation outdoors. "You got the bug? Look at all these bugs." "Hey, we're ready for the bugs. Dana, you said there's gonna be bugs, dude. Look at all these. I just found it on my face. Yeah, I came out here to acclimate to the heat. You got acclimated, or you got acclimated to the bugs. Did you get in your nose? 2 or 3 did, and you just gotta give it right away." Chandler's approach, she is trying to adapt not only to the heat, but also to the unpredictable outdoor conditions that could affect performance at the White House event. The video highlights a lighthearted but intense preparation style as he continues training despite distractions caused by insects and humidity. Fans online reacted to the clip, with many laughing at the bug situation, while others praised his commitment to staying ready under any condition. Chandler's training session also reflects the broader mindset of fighters preparing for unusual venues and environmental challenges that go beyond a normal arena setting. In clips, he remains focused and energetic, joking between drills while still maintaining the intensity required for high-level competition. The constant mention of bugs became a running joke throughout the footage, as Chandler repeatedly acknowledged the swarm around him. Despite the distractions, he continues pushing through drills, showing durability and focus that fans expect from him ahead of major fight events. Training partners and coaches can be heard encouraging him, adding to the chaotic but controlled atmosphere of the session. Overall, the footage paints a picture of a fighter embracing discomfort, using humor and grit to prepare for a unique challenge on a historic stage. The White House event continues to build anticipation, with fighters adjusting their camps to match the unusual outdoor environment and unpredictable conditions. Chandler's approach stands out as he openly embraces the challenge, turning even bugs and heat into part of his training narrative. His preparation continues to draw attention as fans watch closely to see whether this unusual training method will translate into performance inside the octagon on fight night at the highest level in the UFC world. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley addresses the situation involving Josh Hokit after a moment that reportedly went viral and sparked discussion about loyalty and presence during a tense interaction. O'Malley explains that he was not fully aware of the backlash at first, saying he is not very active on social media and therefore missed the early reactions. "Damn it, I'm not on social, so I don't see anything. I know that whole moment went viral, but I didn't see Hokit saying that," he said. He then reflects on the situation and admits that in the moment his focus was elsewhere. O'Malley mentions that being close to Alex Pereira during the interaction made the situation feel more natural to him, and he did not think much about positioning or public perception at the time. "Yeah, maybe I should have. When you're that close to Alex Pereira, you don't really think about talking. You're just sitting there and thinking I'm going to stay quiet," he explained. However, he later acknowledges that Josh Hokit may have had a valid point in his reaction. O'Malley admits that his positioning could have been different and that stepping back or adjusting where he stood might have changed how the moment looked. He's not wrong. "I should have been on Hokit's team. Maybe I should have stepped back a few feet, maybe got behind him, and then started talking," he said. He continues by explaining his mindset at the time, saying he believed staying still might make the moment more humorous or memorable on camera. Looking back, however, he recognizes that the situation did not land the way he expected. "What went through my mind was, if I don't do anything and just sit still, it'll look hilarious." But yeah, Hokit was right, O'Malley admitted. He also adds that the moment did not bring out his most confident side, acknowledging it was not one of his stronger social interactions. Despite that, he maintains a light tone about the situation and shifts focus toward future goals. "I wasn't feeling too gangster right there, to say the least," he said, before redirecting attention toward upcoming challenges. O'Malley mentions that he is now focusing his energy on upcoming fights, including names like Ian Gary and potentially even Ilia, while making it clear that certain matchups are not something everyone in the division is eager to engage with at this stage of his career. Move on to another news. Ilia is reportedly transforming into Iron Man ahead of his UFC White House preparations, showcasing one of the most advanced and unique training camps seen in MMA. Ilia continues to stand out as one of the most innovative fighters in the sport, and in a new Road to the UFC series on his YouTube channel, he revealed several cutting-edge methods being used to elevate his performance. In the footage, Ilia explains that his camp now includes neurostimulation, stroboscopic vision training, and dry needling combined with ultrasound technology. He describes the process in detail, emphasizing how each method is designed to optimize focus, recovery, and overall performance. This is neurostimulation with infrared light for several things: to improve focus, mental recovery, and to improve sleep. These secrets, they don't do this. The focus this gives before training is like not even 100 coffees can match it, Ilia said. He adds that while the process may look unusual, he believes the results are worth it, stating that sometimes performance requires sacrifice and discomfort. Ilia also spoke about ultrasound-guided dry needling, explaining how it helps his body recover and feel lighter after intense sessions. After this, I can tell you my performance in training and on a physiological level, I noticed it very much. It feels like they take a lot of weight off my shoulders. Everything is being planned for my best day of performance, he explained. The report also highlights that similar technology is already used at UFC performance institutes in Las Vegas and Shanghai. Stroboscopic eyewear is designed to temporarily disrupt vision, forcing the brain to improve prediction speed and hand-eye coordination. Dry needling is used to release muscle tension, while ultrasound imaging helps ensure precision when targeting deeper tissues. However, Ilia appears to be going even further by incorporating additional neurostimulation technology not typically available through standard UFC training facilities. According to the report, this device comes from an independent sports science group and uses near-infrared light to stimulate brain activity. The device, known as Vite Neurodo 4, is said to project light through bone and tissue to reach brain cells, where it interacts with mitochondria to enhance cellular energy production. It operates at a specific wavelength designed to penetrate deeply and potentially improve mental performance and focus. Despite sounding extreme, the report notes the technology is relatively accessible and may become more common among fighters in the future. Ilia, however, is already fully integrating it into his camp as he prepares for a high-stakes performance at the UFC White House event, continuing to push the boundaries of modern fight preparation. Move on to another news. A new UFC fight has officially been added to the upcoming UFC Serbia event, according to Marcel Dorf, bringing another matchup to an already growing fight card. It is being reported that Bogdan Grad will face Denis Bazukia on August 1st in a bout that carries major stakes for both fighters as they look to turn their UFC careers around. Grad enters the matchup on a 2-fight losing streak, with his most recent defeat coming against Luke Riley back in November. His current UFC record stands at 1-2, and this upcoming fight represents a critical moment for him to get back on track and avoid falling further down the roster. On the other side, Denis Bazukia is also stepping into a must-win situation. He is currently on a 3-fight losing streak, with his latest loss coming against Marcio Barbosa in April. His UFC record now sits at 1-4, putting him under serious pressure as he prepares for this upcoming clash. With both fighters struggling to build momentum inside the octagon, this matchup is shaping up to be a survival fight rather than just another addition to the card. Neither man can afford another setback, and the stakes could not be higher heading into UFC Serbia. The announcement adds more depth to the event, which continues to take shape as additional fights are confirmed leading into August 1st. Fans are now closely watching how this bout fits into the overall structure of the card and whether either fighter can bounce back under pressure. Each athlete will be looking to prove they still belong at this level, especially given their recent run of losses. A victory here could be a turning point, while another defeat could significantly impact their UFC future. As UFC Serbia continues to develop, more matchups are expected to be revealed. But this particular fight already stands out as a high-pressure showdown between two fighters desperate to reset their careers and regain momentum inside the division. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev reacts to the announcement of Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway, along with giving his prediction for how the fight could play out. In the same interview, Makhachev also addressed Conor McGregor's UFC return set for July. The matchup between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway at UFC 329 has already generated massive attention, with the event being labeled one of the most hyped cards in recent memory. Ticket prices have also skyrocketed, adding even more buzz around the fight week atmosphere. Given the long-standing tension and history surrounding both camps, many fans expected Makhachev to take a more aggressive stance in his comments. However, he remained composed and neutral, focusing more on the sporting aspect rather than any personal rivalry. He stated that the fight is good for the sport, acknowledging the star power involved, while also pointing out the challenge ahead for Conor McGregor against a dangerous opponent in Max Holloway. Yeah, it's good. Big name for our sport, but he has a tough opponent. Max Holloway against Conor. I think Max can beat him, Makhachev said. His prediction leans in favor of Max Holloway, suggesting that the volume, pace, and durability of Holloway could be too much for Conor McGregor at this stage. The comment quickly sparked discussion among fans, with many debating whether Makhachev's assessment is accurate, given both fighters' current form and career trajectories. The reaction also highlights how closely watched this matchup is, not just by fans, but by fellow champions across the UFC roster. Every opinion adds fuel to the anticipation, especially when coming from a dominant figure like Makhachev. As the conversation around UFC 329 continues to grow, attention remains fixed on how both Conor McGregor and Max Holloway will perform when they finally step back into the octagon under such massive expectations. Meanwhile, Makhachev's remarks add another layer to the ongoing narrative surrounding the lightweight and welterweight divisions, where every major fight announcement continues to shift predictions and fan expectations heading into a stacked UFC calendar.